Hi all. Today I'll be discussing about one topic which is part of an Python Pandas module. It is iloc. It is index locator. Iloc means index locator, which is part of an Python Pandas module or Pandas library. Actually, iloc is an function in Python, which is defined. Its logic is defined in a Python Pandas module of Python. Actually, what does this do? It helps us to select a specific row or a column from a data set. Data set means which is in a matrix format. Matrix format uh, like n cross n, rows and columns. And using this iloc function, we can easily retrieve any particular value or any row or any column using the index values. Index values means here we can identify with n or m of size. So now I will give a few examples so that you can understand the concept of iloc. In here, I have clearly explained with one example, a few examples of iloc. So iloc have two parameters. First one is an row, second one is an column. So we have to specify row and column to fetch the desired required in values. So just another like I have redefined here. It's defined in a Python module. Using iloc module, we can easily retrieve a particular row or a column here. So in order to use this one, we have to import a Python uh, pandas from an uh, pandas library. So this is how we have to import pandas as PD. So here I think you are all aware that PD means it's an alias where we can use for an pandas. So I believe that the people who are watching can aware of little bit of a Python. So here I am creating my own dictionary. Like dictionary means like I can explain here. Dictionary of two. Like one is key and value. This is key and value. Dictionary in Python have a pair of key and values. So here the similar way I have defined a matrix of key and values A, B, C, D like four. These are all like kind of four A, B, C, D are four columns and its values here. So once I have like declared here uh, my own dictionary, I am making it to an data frame so that we can use it in our example. So here I have declared a dictionary, and with this statement I am making the dictionary as a data frame. So we can see here data frame looks like this one. You can understand, right? So A is the columns and these are all the rows. Just to give one second a brief, A, B, C, D are the columns, 1, 2, 3 are the rows. The first row, second row, third, fourth, fifth row. You can see first row, second row, third, fourth, fifth. And I believe that you can observe a row indexes are starting with zeros. This we need to note it. One instead of 1, 2, 3, it starts with 0 and 4. Now let's do our a few examples to fetch a specific values from this matrix. Uh, iloc attributes is used to elements from an pandas data frame using an integer position. So here we have to give a position like row and array column values. Suppose if I want to retrieve a value like 1, 2, 3, 4, these values. If I want to retrieve a first row, then how the code will be. So here my data frame is saved in df.temp. So df.temp dot iloc in here parameters we have to give. The first one is a row means we want to fetch the first row. So here I have given a 0 and the colon means the second parameter which is referring to an column. In our case I need all columns from A to B. So 0 to A, it means that fetching the first row, that is 0, and all columns means that is column. We have to just can keep it like this. I executed. The output is I have retrieved all the values of the first row. I hope it's clear now. Another way of retrieving the same is like we can, instead of giving the blank of second, we can also fetch, we can also mention 0 to all, the range, the columns from 0 to all. You can see here. It means starting from 0 to all. I hope it's clear now. And one more way of retrieving this I'll show here. df temp iloc 0 to, I can even mention from starting with 0 column 2. I can even mention that 1, 2, 3, 4 columns are there. I can mention like a 4 dot values. It will give the desired uh, output. I believe the first example is clear. Now let's go to a second example. Yeah, the same way that I have another way of to fetch this one. The second here is I want to fetch the first two values like this one. The first two values means this value and this value. Okay, the first two values if I want to fetch, you can observe here the first value is 0, 0th row, and column starting from 0 to 1. Here 2 means the last column will not be taken into consideration, so it will take 0 and 1. It is 2 means still up to 2, and 2 will not be included here. That's the logic, that point that we need to note it. So here when I execute, you can see the first 2 is the output here. It's clear, right? Let's show you the another way of fetching this. Here I am using all indexes in a positive indexing, and the same can also be retrieved with the negative indexing. Negative indexing means, so we will be counting the rows last from the last columns. So here this will become an -1, -2, -3, -4. The first will become an -4. So here you can observe that how I have given the indexing. So the first will be an 0th row. So we want only this this row. So I have given the 0th row, and here I have given the range starting from -4 to -2. So here, which one is the big one? So -4 is the big one. So I have given this one -2, -4, -3, -2, -1. But in my case, I have given -4 to -2, means -4, -2, -3. So it will stop up to here and it will display these values. I hope you can understand here, right? Just to one takeaway point here is the range will start from the large to small range starting from large value to small value. Sorry, in large it start from small value to large value, large index value. -2 is larger than greater than 2. I hope it's clear now. Fine. It's a little tricky, but often we use negative indexing as well. Suppose if I want to retrieve only 4 from the last, then I can show here. You can see here it retrieved from it retrieved from the greater value here is -1 to the rest of the values 1, 2, 3, 4. If I give -2 here, it can retrieve the same one what we have retrieved just before. Got it? We can even give the greater value, or uh, it will understand it. The blank means it will understand. It will. We need to take from the uh, last. That is the greatest value. Okay. Now let's move to another example. So here in this index, I can show. So here in this index, I want to retrieve a value. This one 3333. It means row means it is considered. We have to consider from 0, 1, 2, 2. So it is a second row. We have to consider second row and C column. C column is 0, 1, 2. So the same row and index we need to specify. The first one here I specified 2 and 3, and also 2 and 3. It means I need a row starting from second index and ending at 3. Similarly, the column starting from 2 ending at 3. As we have observed the last index value will not be considered. So the second will be considered, like second and second. See, I am getting the exact value here. Fine. Similarly, if we want to retrieve a value, uh, this value, which is at the fourth row and third column, 0, 1, 2. This is the way that how I will, like the fourth column is why I left the other range for hash colon, because I don't have any other rows in this matrix. So I used 4, and in the column the same index that how I have used it before, the same way that I used it. So we can see I'm getting this value. I hope it's clear now. Fine. Now let's go to another example. So similarly, if I want to retrieve a value of this one, 333, 333, how it belongs to index this one and index this one. Second index 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So second index, second value. You observe, right? No? The same way. So I given the same thing. Now let's see how I can retrieve a value of this one, which is third index of row and, sorry, the fourth index of the row and the third index of the column, 0, 1, 2. Second index of the column and fourth index of the row. So this is how I have given. See, it starts from the third index and ends at 4. The row value that starting at 3 and ending at 4. It means that it will take only the third index of the row. Fourth will not be considered. Similarly, column starts at 2, ends at 3. It means that it will take 2 only. This is the output, that how it's. I hope it's clear now. Now let's go to a next fetch. Here in this example, I need to fetch the value of the first and this, which means what is the row value? It's an first row, and column value first column, and this is the first column and third column, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So to fetch this one, just one concept that one new concept that I am going to share with you. It is a skip concept. Skip concept means here the values I have taken the index value starting from 0 to 1. It means that it will take the first one. 0 means starting with 0, ending with 1. So the second will not be considered. So it's excluded. And from the row, it starts from the 0 row, and you can observe the double columns here, 0, 1, 1. That 0 colon 2. here what it means meticulously you observe that 0 to 1 means it is related to row, the first one related to which will fetch rows starting from 0th index to first index. Last will be excluded. If you go to the second column related value, it will fetch from the column starting from the 0th to all columns, and its second argument, that is 0. Second argument, that is colon. Colon means it means to all. The full rows it will be fetched. If you observe interestingly the third argument in the column, it's a very interesting argument. That is here I mentioned 2. It means that you need to skip the value for every second column. Means taking from 0, starting from 0, skip the second column. Is 0 instead of second, instead of 1 I have skipped, 2, 3 skipped, 4, 5 skipped, 6 and 7 skipped, and so on. I hope if you observe this logic, you can understand how it will be. Initially it will be just tricky, but it is very interesting. Fine. So this is the way that how we can use a skip argument, skip value in our uh, the fetch. So if I enter this one, I am getting this value. See, 0 to 1 means it will take this one, and column it started from 0, skip put the first one. No, starting from 0. So it printed, it has taken the first one. Okay. Second, it skipped. So it skipped this one, and it has taken this one, third one. Fourth, it skipped, and if we have an fifth column, it will be considered. This is the logic of the skip. I hope it's clear now. Fine. Now let's go to another example. Yeah. Now our requirement is to fetch the uh, these two values, which means that row wise second and third, column wise second, third one, 0 1 2. Sorry, 0 1 2. The number is C column. So here observe that here I can directly index the value and row and column, and no skip is done, because I need a values from the continuous. If I need a value continuous, if I use in this requirement, if I use skip, then it will not fetch the continuous values. So row wise I need a second row and third row, not the fourth one. So this is the row value 2 to 4, and in the column it starts from the 0 1 2. This is 2. Just understand here, 0 1 2 3. So here my requirement is to start from the these values, right? Fine. So uh, this is clear. If I come to column, I need only second column. So it started at 2, ended at 3. It means that it will give only the second column. You can understand, right? Here you can observe how my output is given. Fine. Okay. Next we'll go for another example. Now I need to fetch the alternative values of one column for skipping the uh, skip by 1, starting from 0 skip by 1, then I have to. So here in this case I did the skip in the row. See, in the row I need the first row, not the second row. So I need this row, not this row, this, not this one, this one. So here we have to, while writing the code, we have to write in two steps. First step is we have to first frame the logic with 0, 0, like 0, 1, 2, yeah, 0 to last and skip by 2. It is just like starting from 0th row to and all the rows skip by 2. So in our case, it will take 0, 2 and 4 because our matrix size is up to and fourth index only. So in column, just I mentioned just one column so that all columns will be printed here. Now you can observe here, right? It is printing this, this entire, this entire, and this entire. Fine. So now the second part of the fetch that we need to write now. So this is the first part. In the second part, it starts from the 3. It starts from the here 0, 1, 2, 3. So we need, it starts from the 3 and all columns that we needed here. So I have mentioned the 2 is for all. So it will take the third index only. If I execute it, because our index is also ended with an third. So it is printing all these columns. Fine. So observe that if I want to only this second, the first one, how I'll show here. Take the same, instead of 2, give 1. See? So I have, in my second argument, which is related to column, I have mentioned that it starts from the 1 till 2. So till 2 is not included and it is printing all the 2's here. Fine. I hope it's clear now. Fine. Now let's go for another example. If I want to, if I want to, uh, wait, I'll show here. Say my previous exam requirement to give, to fetch this, 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 and this value, this value, and this value. So here I used a negative indexing. Just to mention that I am using a negative indexing. How we will be calculating the negative indexing? It will be calculated from here, like -1 from the back side, -2, -3, and -4. minus 3 and minus 4. So here I need only the last one. So I have to mention minus 1. But here, what are the columns that I need? The 0th row to all rows, skipping the first skip by 2. This. So this will fulfill my row, and this will fulfill my column value. You can observe, right? Here this understands that start from 0 to all, 0 colon all, and the third argument gives a skip by 2. So it skips 1 1 1 1. So, and in column it has to start from the minus 1 to all. There is no skip to all. Fine, to all rows. So to all columns, this is the requirement. Fine. Now we'll go to another interesting topic, that is fancy indexing. Fancy indexing means here we are uh, we are using till now with skip by 1, skip by 2. Suppose if we want a requirement which doesn't have any like a proper sequence or proper skipping sequence, like here my requirement is to fetch this value, and this value. So here in this case I cannot use a skip, and also this is not in an like a irregular order. The fetch need is in irregular order. So in this case there is a concept of like a fancy indexing. Using fancy indexing, you can retrieve whatever the rows or columns is needed here. In this case, how I have to do this means, see, clearly observe that before I did not put a brackets, square brackets inside the square brackets. So here fancy indexing, in the row I need 0th row, third row and fourth row. See, 0th row, third row and fourth row. In column I have mentioned all. See here, you can observe, right? I can see these values 0 1 2 3, and third this value, and fourth this value. In similar way you can give whatever rows that you need. Suppose if I can mention that I need 0 2 and 3. Here one observation, in the fancy indexing it will consider all the index values. See here, it is considering 0 2 3. You can observe here 0 2 3. Fine. This is a fancy indexing, and in the rows, in the columns also you can mention in the same way. Zero 4. I believe some error is there. Let's, yeah, in this way we can use the fancy indexing. Now let's take another example. Yeah, the same example which I am trying here. I need a column like 0. So here the requirement here is I need a columns, rows of 0th, 3rd and 4th, and similarly in the columns I need the first one, not this one, 0th column, not the first one, second and third. It means that it will fetch this value, and this value. Similarly, in this column, this value, and this value, this value, this value, and this value. So here I have given the rows, fancy index rows in 0, 3, and 4, 0, 3, and 4, and similarly in a column 0, 3, and 4. So here I could see the answers are, the fetched results is the same way. Got it right? A, C, and D. I hope the concept of I logic index locator is clear. The logic is clear, and in my next video I will be sharing how to use an lock. Now, I have used an this thing iloc. In my next video I will be sharing lock. So you can understand that what is the difference between this lock, iloc, and lock clearly. Now it's clear for you. I hope uh, you understand the concept of this one. Thanks for watching, and I will be uploading this in my GitHub so that you can use uh, these examples from my GitHub. GitHub link will be shared here. Thank you.